Hey there, it's Sonia Miller, speaker, coach, and best-selling author. And I help overworked, underfulfilled women receive what they most want by unlearning struggle. And while this is usually the population I've worked with, I really wanted to open my heart and arms out wide to really talk to anyone who is interested in unlearning struggle, because given the current state of events in the world with this pandemic and economic pressures and all sorts of news coming in through the media, if ever there was a time to unlearn struggle, now is the time. And I'm really passionate about helping people to really see that while some struggle is a natural part of life, a lot of it is learned. And so today I'm coming to you to share with you one super important, I'm going to call it my number one tip to unlearn struggle and receive peace, well-being, and abundance easily, even in the midst of this pandemic, even in the midst of this global crisis. Because really, it is possible to unlearn struggle and open up to blessings beyond what you could imagine. So I always like to focus on what I call a less is more tip, because truly less is more. And the tip that I want to focus on today is this idea that learned struggle and unlearning struggle, as well as receiving what you want, receiving your fulfillment, receiving your peace, all of that is a choice. That's the tip. It is a choice, and it's a choice that you have the freedom, the free will to make over and over and over and over again. So before I start to unpack really where your power to choose to not struggle, your power to choose to receive incredible well-being, before I unpack this further, I really want to start with a personal story. And I think this is going to be important to actually share a few success stories, because here's the thing. This principle is so simple, but the mind is where struggle begins, and the mind is going to want to complicate it. So we need to hear stories that really reinforce that what I'm about to share with you truly works and is truly based in universal principles, universal truths. All right. So I personally came from an experience in terms of teaching this material that was about a 10-year chapter of back-to-back-to-back hardships. It included my mom getting diagnosed with cancer and being her caregiver for 4 years, finding myself in a contentious legal dispute over home and assets shortly after she died, my marriage of 15 years ending very unexpectedly, finding myself to be a single mom of 2 kids and a solo entrepreneur and needing to be the primary provider. And it got worse before it got better. So here I was, this woman who considered herself highly competent, really able to make things happen, and everything in my world was beyond my control. Much like what most of us are experiencing right now. We are being faced with events and feelings and emotions and experiences and things coming at us that are beyond our control. So how do you feel powerful when things are beyond your control? Since most of us feel safe or feel powerful when we're in control, but what happens when you have no control? Well, you can suffer, but you don't have to. Yes, it's challenging, but there's a difference between pain and suffering. There's a difference between natural struggle or natural challenge and the stuff that we keep fueling and feeding and fueling and feeding. So while I've had many life experiences that have reinforced what I'm about to talk about today, I want to talk about one experience in particular. And so after I came out of, let's say, 4 out of 8 hardships, because I kept thinking it was going to be over, but then another one would come and another one would come, I found myself now being a single mom and running a business and taking care of my kids. And I basically was living with anxiety every single day. like a lot of people are experiencing now: fear, panic, and anxiety. And I felt like a victim to my anxiety. There was nothing I could do about it. And so I felt like my decisions and my inability to feel powerful and in control was at the mercy of this anxiety. And I was suffering, really suffering. Every day I had to get up and keep going, get up and keep going, and I couldn't control anything. And I wanted so much for my kids to be okay, and I needed to keep my business going. So this is the big Sonia reveal of what I came through to be here today talking about this. And then there came this moment where I had this awareness, and it was this: anxiety was going to come or not. Fear was going to come or not. And instead of trying to find solutions to make the anxiety go away, in other words, if I can get control or make this happen, then my anxiety will go away, because I was chasing the feeling of peace, I realized I had no control over the anxiety and I couldn't live my life feeling victimized by it. So I decided to simply let the anxiety be here. It was going to come, it was going to go, or it was going to stay. But I decided to let it be here. And I developed a new relationship to the anxiety. And so every time it would come, I literally talked to it and I said, okay, anxiety, hello, you can come, you can go, you can do whatever you want. And I'm going to look over here and do this instead. And I did that every single day, many times a day. Hello, anxiety, you can come or you can go, but I'm going to do this instead. And so what I ended up doing was exercising my choice, my free will to choose where I was going to direct my attention. That systematically got me A, out of struggle, and B, open and receptive to receiving blessings and grace and goodness that I could not have imagined. That was the beginning of understanding the power of choice in terms of whether I was going to struggle or not. And so with that, what I want to talk about is two particular areas where you have choice. One is around the choice you have regarding whether or not you struggle, and the choice that you have about receiving what you most want. Okay, so when it comes to struggle, and I kind of alluded to this in my story, okay, your choice is whether you're going to let the struggle be here or not. So when your mind is struggling, when you have fear, when you have emotions, when you have anxiety, what most of us do is we either want to push it away or do battle with it, which is fix it, control it, wrestle it to the ground, solve some problem so that the struggle will go away. All that does is it fuels the struggle more, because your awareness is going towards the struggle. It's doing battle with the struggle. It's resisting the struggle. What you resist persists. What you receive can transform. So when it comes to struggle, your choice, instead of battling it, either battling it or defending against it, your choice is to let it be here. Open to it. And as you practice that, you will now be opening the door to letting the struggle pass. That's the first idea. The second choice you have is around receiving what you want. Now, most of us think that what we want is a person, a place, a condition, okay? We want to control the conditions of our lives, again, in order to feel better. Just like struggle, we want to control struggle in order to feel better, okay? You cannot control things in order to feel better. It simply doesn't work. And now more than ever, we see that. We cannot control our environment. We cannot control what the authorities, the powers that be tell us what to do in terms of stay home or go, or where we want to go hang out or be with friends or not. We can't control what we want. But what we do have power over is receiving the essence. I always like to say we focus on the essence and the form will come. So your choice when it comes to receiving what you want lies in a willingness to be pleasantly surprised. When you are willing to be pleasantly surprised, you now have chosen to focus on the positive side of uncertainty. There are two sides to the coin of uncertainty, and we're navigating a lot of uncertainty now. The shadow side, or the side that we don't like, is that we can't control anything. But the positive side, or the blessing side, is that we can receive in ways that are better than we ever imagined, as long as we're willing to be uncertain about what we receive. That's the positive side, okay? So when it comes to struggle, your choice is to let it be as it is. Yes, you have the choice to do that rather than fight or defend, okay? And when it comes to receiving what you want, you focus on the essence so the form will come, and allow yourself to be willing to be pleasantly surprised. So what I'd like to do to reinforce this even more is that I want to share with you some of the success stories that my students in my recently completed Receive course, which is 11 weeks to Unlearn Struggle to Receive What You Want. I want to share with you some of their success stories. And more than anything, I want to do this because what the vast majority of them experienced was they received things better than they ever imagined, but it was unexpected. They were surprised by what arose. They couldn't have controlled it. And this includes things like unexpected money, raises, bonuses, family coming to visit for the first time in 22 years, being appreciated and acknowledged by family members who had never expressed appreciation, and reduction of anxiety, reduction of stress, more peace, and even a confidence to navigate these global events with more peace than one could ever imagine. So I'm going to insert in this video a little bit of a little video that I did as part of a celebration when we completed our class, because I really want you to understand that what I'm talking about truly, truly works. Okay? So just take a look at this for a few seconds as it plays. So I hope that inspired you, and you can start to open up even more to what's possible for you. You're receiving opportunity now with this video. We now know that your less is more tip is that unlearning struggle and receiving what you want is a choice that you make moment by moment by moment. And your receiving opportunity is to not only embrace this as an idea, but I really want to encourage you to practice this in a way that it comes into your body and into your experience. After all, suffering is something that we feel. We can't talk ourselves out of it. Sometimes we can direct our attention in a way that reminds us of things that feel better, but truly the relief of suffering, the end of suffering, the fulfillment of those things that are important to us are things that we feel and experience in our bodies. And so I'm going to refer you to a link where you can download 2 guided meditations that my students love to play on a regular basis. They sit down, they listen to it, and it helps them do both of these things: unlearn struggle and receive what they most want. Those are the 2 meditations. All you have to do is go to unlearnstruggle.com, put in your name and email. You will receive what you need to download those meditations. You can download them. You can simply press play. It is my gift to you. I really have been contemplating, how can I be a contribution? How can I help people at this time when really, if there's never been a better time to unlearn struggle. You have a choice. You have the power of free will, and you really can access your power beyond the illusion of control. None of us have control, but our true power lives within us. It's just about opening up to it. I hope this video was helpful. Go on over to unlearnstruggle.com. And if you like this, please like, share, subscribe. I'm going to keep producing videos, and I would love to support you any way that I can. Please comment below, ask questions. I'm here to be of service. Have a great day. Bye-bye.